The religious establishment has really run with that one. What people don't understand is that Corinthians was, a letter written to the people of Corinth. Maybe the people of Corinth had really mouthy women folk that needed to drink a tall, cool glass of shuddy. Maybe in Corinthian women were just like uncontrollable. Or at least Paul. Paul wrote it, I think. Paul, who wrote the letter that wound up being Corinthians, which was one letter to a specific province, part of the world, Corinth. Maybe he just felt that Corinthian women were mouthy and needed to shut the hell up. Yet, despite the fact that he was singling out one group, Corinth, that whole women need to be silent in church thing, the religious establishment has run with that. And Pope Francis went, yeah, F that. Women need to be more involved in church. He said the Vatican needed to have females more involved in the day-to-day business of the Catholic Church. I guess while altar boys are serving some other purposes, their sandwich making might not be up to par. The Pope also did another thing that was incredibly humanizing, made him a Pope of the people. Did you see the video? Did you see it when he picked his nose and ate it? Maybe it's part of the whole not wasting food thing. But he's just an ordinary guy that digs for moon rocks and disposes of the evidence, too, the way a lot of people do. Shouldn't, but do. The strike that the Pope had against him, for me, was that whole thing where he was like, hey, follow me on Twitter and I'll fast track you into heaven. You remember that? If you followed the Pope at Pontifex on Twitter, they were granting indulgences, which I think, technically speaking, an indulgence is they lessen the amount of time that you're going to spend in purgatory before you make it through the pearly gates. And the whole thing was like, if you follow the Pope on Twitter, he'll grant you indulgences. That was kind of effing shady to me, but I'm not holding it against him because I love all the other work he's done. I look at the Pope and I look at what he's doing. He's telling people of the church, like, hey, you got to get from A to B. But do you really need to do it in an S-Class Benz? He's like, the church should be poor. I'm in favor of a poor church. Ooh. Hitting people directly in the collection plate, messing with the money. I was like, God, this guy's great. But he's messing with the money. He's messing with some incredibly narrow political agendas that a lot of people subscribe to. There's no two ways about it. He's going to be in someone's crosshairs at some point. And I worry about this because I feel like the longer he gets to be the Pope, the more good he's going to do. And by going in and effing stuff up, he's got to know that there's a bullseye on him. But I'm surprised it's taken this long to evidence exactly who was painting that bullseye on him. Unsurprisingly, it's ISIS. The Pope is, well, it's been confirmed that he's under threat from ISIS. The papal residence's police have no knowledge of any specific plot. The commander of the Vatican security forces acknowledged the existence of a real threat to Pope Francis from ISIS, but said there's no indication of a planned attack right now. He said that the threat exists. He said, at the moment, I can say that we know of no plan for attack against the Vatican or the Holy Father. However, ISIS explicitly mentions Italy and its Christians as a potential target, calling it the nation signed with the blood of a cross. This was in a video that featured images of 21 Egyptian Christians beheaded this month. The Islamic militant organization, ISIS, also warned that it was close to Italy, saying its forces are south of Rome in Libya. 4 months ago, ISIS propaganda magazine Dabiq also featured Vatican City's St. Peter's Square on its cover with the headline, "The Failed Crusade," depicting the terrorist group flag flying over the piazza's central obelisk. Are they going to take him out? Maybe. They're certainly going to try. They'd certainly think it was great if they could. The Pope likes to do that thing where he wanders the streets at night and gives food to the poor anonymously. Pope keeps it real. Doesn't travel around in the bulletproof Pope-mobile. Kind of a sitting duck. And very demonstrative of his faith in God in doing that. Ultimately speaking, I sadly consider it when someone takes out the Pope, not if. And the one thing that I think that we have to bear in mind during that time is the fact that someone's going to want to take him out because he F's with the money. He F's with the money. He F's with the power structures. He does this all through humanity. He's going after people that hate gay folks, saying, hey, well, who am I to judge? And if the Pope says he's not fit to judge, then you're damn skippy that you're not. But there's so much money, so much profit to be made in bashing gays, in bashing other religions. There's so much money to be made in hate and division. And the Pope is about love and unity. That is his message. Sadly, there's not nearly as much loot to be made off of love and unity. You can't divide people with love and unity. And when you can't divide people, you cannot conquer them. So it's only a matter of time, I think, sadly. And I hope it's not. But I think it's only a matter of time before the Pope's candle, and it does burn bright, is snuffed by some hate group or another. Maybe ISIS, maybe someone else, maybe someone within the church, because he's taking too much money out of the papal coffers by insisting that the church should be about love rather than wealth. And because I feel like we have him here for a limited time, no matter what your faith is, no matter what you do or do not believe, atheist, agnostic, Catholic, Episcopalian, Jewish, Muslim, whatever, we owe it to ourselves and to this man who has been brave enough to stick his neck out for love and unity, to pay attention to him, to try and live by the example he sets, regardless of what version of God we believe in. Start with love, start with humanity, start with unity, and follow his example for the time that he's here with us.